Very good evening. You're watching the latest here on Free Press Journal. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali. With me is senior journalist Ashutosh, co-founder of Satya Hindi. Good evening, Ashutosh. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
Welcome. Let me, start our conversation on the issue that is dominating all headlines today. There are competing narratives on what led to the escalation and what prompted the ceasefire. I want to have this discussion with you. If you permit me, I will quickly play a soundbite of US President Donald Trump and then come to you with my questions. Let's
Please.
listen.
Let you know that the leadership of India and Pakistan was unwavering, powerful, but unwavering in both cases. Having these, they really were, from the standpoint of having the strength and the wisdom and fortitude to fully know and to understand the gravity of the situation. And we helped a lot. And we helped also with trade. I said, come on, we're going to do a lot of trade with you guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade. People have never really used trade the way I used it. That I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop. And they have. And they did it for a lot of reasons, but trade is a big one. We're going to do a lot of trade with Pakistan. We're going to do a lot of trade with India. We're negotiating with India right now. We're going to be soon negotiating with Pakistan.
So that's the word from the US president, that this was entirely orchestrated by the US with the promise of trade. And this sounds like we are managed to arm twist them. And it also sounds, I have to say, very disturbing indeed, that for an independent sovereign nation to have a big daddy in the form of Donald Trump, who's dictating terms to us and making us take these sort of decisions with a hostile country like Pakistan, sets a very wrong precedence. But I want to understand your reading of this with all the competing narratives that you would have heard just as I have.
Thank you, Afrida, for inviting me for the show. Obviously, the most disturbing part is Mr. Donald Trump's assertion. And what is upsetting me and upsetting a lot of people in the country, though I'm not for war at all. I'm always for talks. I'm always for the peace. But I always believe when there is a war, then it should be taken to the logical conclusion. Unfortunately, that logical conclusion never reached. And in between, the ceasefire was announced. The sad part is the ceasefire was not announced by government of India, or neither announced by the government of Pakistan. The ceasefire was announced by a third party named America, its president, Mr. Donald Trump. And that's why it is very, very surprising, it is very disturbing, and it is problematic for four reasons. It has been old India's foreign policy, a diplomatic formulation, that no third party mediation will be entertained and required. India is competent enough to solve its problem. And if there is an issue with the Pakistan, we two countries can decide, we can sit and talk and discuss. So if there is any conflict, it is between us, no third party mediation. That is a decade more than since 1947, since India became independent and became a sovereign nation. This has been the stated foreign policy position of the government of India. Whichever government was there, it didn't make any difference. That Rubicon has been crossed by Narendra Modi government. Secondly, this whole exercise has internationalized Kashmir. We have always opposed to internationalization of Kashmir, and that is why we are always opposed to any kind of a third-party mediation. Now, Donald Trump, in his second tweet on the Truth social media platform, he's saying that he will talk to India and Pakistan to discuss about Kashmir. No other president has said in as many words. That's the second most disturbing thing. When we believed that the Kashmir is on way to normalization, and I was there on the 21st of May, 24 hours before, when this Pahalgam thing happened, and I could think, and I could believe, and I was looking with my eyes that there was a normal activity going on in Kashmir. So that has been disturbed. Now, India and Pakistan have become equal. The American president,
Yeah.
when we are talking about America, that the Pakistan is a failed state, is a rogue state, it's a terrorist state, then suddenly the president of America is saying India and Pakistan, two great nations. So
Yeah.
now there is a false equivalence created by the American president. And finally, India and Pakistan has become hyphenated. Now the whole world is talking about India and Pakistan, Pakistan and India, India and Pakistan. So we all try to de-hyphenate our relationship with the Pakistan, that wherever there is any issue with India, it should not be linked with the Pakistan. So on 4 counts,
Yeah.
and above all, who is American president to declare and announce ceasefire between India and Pakistan? It is a great letdown, and that is why people are upset, unhappy, and people are very, very worried in the way ceasefire has been announced and the way Mr. Narendra Modi and his cabinet has done it. Surprising part is it's almost more than 72 hours. None of the government officials, none of the ministers, even the prime minister has not said a word about it, didn't contradict Mr. Donald Trump and said he is lying. India did not succumb to any pressure. It is their prerogative to go for ceasefire, and we decided. That's the most unfortunate part.
Yes, but Ashutosh, the Prime Minister did say in his speech last night, he did say that no third-party intervention was indulged. I'll come to you. I just want to underline, because what you said is extremely important, about how Trump made it about sibling rivalry and took India and Pakistan's name in the same breath, and it's a rogue nation, a nation that has sponsored terror. And there are, glaring evidence now of how you see a UN designated terrorist standing shoulder to shoulder with the military men in ISI. The whole world is seeing those visuals. There is very little left to imagination now, even with their very, senior ministers coming out and saying, yes, for many years we did do terror training at US's behest, but not anymore. So, all of that is now in the public domain with these statements coming from Pakistan itself. Yet you have India and Pakistan being taken, the names being taken interchangeably almost. It makes it disturbing. I get your point there. But why would you cast doubts, when the Prime Minister said it very clearly, no third-party intervention was indulged in his speech? Where is the doubt then, when it has come from the PM himself?
Then they should say that the American president is lying. American president, this is the third one. 2 social media post by American Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and again is white. It's a visual bite. So either Mr. Trump is lying. I dare not say this, that our Prime Minister is lying. But why the government of India is not coming out and saying, Mr. Donald Trump, enough is enough? Let me tell to the whole world that you had no business to be indulging in our relationship with any other country. We are competent enough to solve it. That denial is not coming. And that denial is not coming. And look what Mr. Trump is saying. Trump is saying, we are not going to do trade with you. That shows what? That shows he put tremendous pressure on the government of India. And our government succumbed under pressure because Americans said, no trade we will not do any trade with you. So there is a direct linkages. I'm not doubting my government. I'm only saying it why this is not being denied openly and frontly. That Mr. Donald Trump, you have no business to say all these things. This is the third time you have said it, and you are basically jeopardizing the relationship between the 2 great countries, between USA and India. See, let me also tell you one thing. Ceasefire in any war is always a strategic decision. So there might be people who might be upset with the ceasefire announcement. The government might think this is the right time to announce ceasefire. Government have every right to do it. Government has the mandate of the entire country. I can be upset. I can always come and say that, look, the target which is set by the government is not achieved. But that's a relatable question. That is subjective understanding. So the issue is not that why ceasefire has been announced. The issue is the way ceasefire has been announced, and the perception going all across the world, globally, perception is going that Indians have done it under the American pressure. It is this American pressure, and Mr. Donald Trump and his whole administration is brazenly saying, if they are lying, that lie has to be caught and called. That is not been done by the government.
So, what is your argument? Are you saying our stature as a regional power has been lowered by this? It has done us damage in the international perception. What is your worry?
Absolutely. It's not about, it's about stated foreign policy positions.
Hmm.
When any sovereign country is seen to be succumbing to the pressure of another sovereign country, it compromises your sovereignty.
Hmm.
It compromises your independence as a nation state.
Yeah.
So this is a much deeper issue. Look, if you compare this episode with in 1971, when Mrs. Gandhi was the prime minister and the great crisis in Bangladesh happened, American President Mr. Richard Nixon and the National Security Advisor and the Foreign Minister Henry Kissinger, they literally threatened government of India. They sent their 7th Fleet. But Mrs. Gandhi did not listen to Americans, didn't succumb to the Americans' pressure. They said, you do your job, I'm doing my job. I know what I'm doing. As an independent sovereign country, I will do what I feel like doing it. I will decide. I will not take any decisions under your tutelage. So India went ahead, and look what happened. Pakistan was broken into two. An independent country was created, Bangladesh. That's called statesmanship. That's called stature. That's called courage. And the whole world applauded Mrs. Gandhi's statesmanship and the leadership. Today, when the perception is going that India has succumbed under the pressure of American administration, then it lowers India's prestige globally, all across the world. And this is something which should not happen. We are a proud nation. We are more than 5,000-year-old civilization. The country should know why, under which pressure the government of India has agreed for the ceasefire. That's my only objection. Pahalgam is a very disturbing event. There's no doubt about it. Everybody was very, very unhappy and angry. And Pakistan should be taught a lesson. We did teach them a lesson. Though I personally wanted more lessons to be learned, because still there is no guarantee that the Pakistan will not sponsor terrorism, or the Pakistan has learned any lesson, or there will not be any terrorist activities after this ceasefire. That possibility is still wide open. So then, if again the terrorist activity happens in our soil, will the country again go for a war? That's again a very dangerous situation, because every time a terrorist activity happens in the country, and then you are going for the war. If that happens, then what will happen to the development agenda? But that's something which can be debated, because I can have my own subjective opinion, the other can feel a different subjective opinion. And if the government of India and others feel that this is the way to deal with the Pakistan, fine. I have no quarrel with that. But my worry is that we could have done much, but we did not do much. And the perception is that we surrender to the American pressures. That's a disturbing.
But do you personally believe that, that is the case? I mean, what according to you caused the de-escalation? According to you, in your personal view, are you of the belief that yes, it was Trump who orchestrated this and compelled this decision? What, according to you, forced the de-escalation on India's part?
I'm only saying that this is the larger perception. Yeah. And the larger perception is there because government of India has not come out openly and had not contradicted the American president. Till government of India does that perception will persist that this whole ceasefire thing was done under American pressure. And I'm still waiting that someday, sometime, not today, not tomorrow, some other day, at least the Prime Minister or the Ministry of External Affairs should come out openly and say what Mr. Donald Trump is saying is not true. We are a sovereign nation and we decided on our own. And when we got a call from the Pakistan, we agreed for that because we also didn't want to escalate the situations. We are the two nuclear power states. So we also want peace because we are a country of Gandhi and Nehru. But unless till that denial is coming, I have every reason to believe what Trump is saying is right and truthful.
Right. I want to ask you this, that, okay, I understood you are convinced that there should have been more done. This was not enough. Could have been more. But are you convinced in any way that India has proven its military capabilities in new age warfare, which the Prime Minister said? Are you convinced that our military superiority has been conclusively proved through
Yes, there is
Operation
no doubt.
Sindhu?
Absolutely,
Hmm.
there is no doubt about it.
Yeah.
India's military superiority over the Pakistan is proved,
Hmm.
and I think it's. I'm not a defense expert. I'm not not a foreign policy expert in that sense. But
Hmm.
about this whole episode, what is on the surface is that we escalated beyond the point. We had gone inside the Pakistan. We have devastated their 9 airfields, which is good enough. And we had given a clear message to the Pakistan and to the establishment, to the army, that look, this is what our capabilities are, and if you do further, then you know what we can do in future. So right now,
Right.
from now onwards, learn lessons and don't come back. But
Hmm.
as I know about the Pakistan will not learn any lessons, because after the ceasefire, if the people in this country are unhappy, there is a celebration
Yeah.
in Pakistan. And
Yeah.
Pakistanis are proclaiming and telling to the whole world that look,
Hmm.
we are victorious. Where the fact is
Yeah.
something else. We had devastated them. We had taught them a lesson. But Pakistanis are rejoicing, and that's what they're master in the deception game. So I do not
Yeah.
know whether they've learned any lessons. We tried to teach them a lesson. I do not know whether they've learned the lesson. So unless they learn the lesson, they will not
Hmm.
stop themselves
Yeah.
or restrict themselves from sponsoring terrorism in the country.
Yeah. One last question. What do you expect next? Opposition is demanding that there should be a special session of parliament where the opposition should also get a chance to put up these questions, which you have also raised. But what, according to you, should be the next step for the government with all these objections coming up?
Ah, see, in a democratic country, I do not know about Pakistan, but India is a democratic country, and we are very proud of our democracy. It is the responsibility of the government, and accountable government, to brief to the parliament what happened, how it happened, and what are they planning for the future. So, in a parliamentary democracy, the government is duty bound to inform to the parliament and take the parliament in confidence, as they had held two all party meetings. What was the purpose behind it? The purpose behind it to take the country in confidence through the political parties, and every political party, whether the political party was very critical of the government, still everybody said in one voice that we are with the government. There is a serious crisis under which the country has come, and Pakistan needed to be taught a lesson, and we fully and wholeheartedly support our government, and we did it. Now it is the responsibility of the government now to continue that togetherness, to continue that consensus on a such a serious issue, and should inform to the parliament, whether it is a special session of the parliament or whatever. I'm not little worried about it. Though the opposition is demanding for a special session of the parliament, it could be done in a special session of parliament. If not, then some other mechanism. But the parliament should be informed and should be briefed, and a session should be called.
Right. Ashutosh, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure talking to you and getting your insights in this issue. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
विश्व के
हम आतंक की सरपरस्त सरकार
पाकिस्तान इज द
और
सोर्स ऑफ टेररिज्म,
आतंक के आकाओं को
पाकिस्तान स्टेट स्पॉन्सर
अलग अलग नहीं देखेंगे।
आपसे सहमत हूं। तो आप यूपीए
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के दौरान
अमेंडमेंट करके
दुनिया ने
शेड्यूल बनाइए।
पाकिस्तान का वो घिनौना सच देखा है जब मारे गए आतंकियों को विदाई देने पाकिस्तानी सेना के बड़े बड़े अफसर उमड़ पड़े।
देता हूं कि विपक्ष आपके साथ रहेगा।
स्टेट स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिज्म का
नहीं बोल सकता,
ये बहुत बड़ा सबूत है।
इस लड़ाई में विपक्ष आपके साथ है, मैं आपके साथ,
हम
हिंदुस्तान
भारत
की जनता आपके साथ है
और अपने नागरिकों को
खत्म हो। लेकिन आप हिम्मत कीजिए,
किसी भी खतरे से बचाने के लिए
टेररिस्ट स्टेट डिक्लेयर कीजिए।
लगातार निर्णायक कदम उठाते
आप
रहेंगे।
पाकिस्तान से ट्रेड नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि
साथियों,
वो टेररिस्ट स्टेट है।
युद्ध के मैदान पर हमने हर बार
नया आयाम स्थापित हुआ है।
पाकिस्तान को धूल
हम चाहते
चटाई
हैं कि ऐसा नया आयाम
और इस
स्थापित
बार
हो कि हिंदुस्तान एक इतना बड़ा
ऑपरेशन
देश है,
सिंदूर ने
हमारी तुलना
नया
पाकिस्तान
आयाम जोड़ा
से
है।
नहीं की जाए। और प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप हमारी तुलना पाकिस्तान से नहीं कर सकता। हम 140 करोड़ लोग हैं, वो एक छोटा मोटा देश है, फेल्ड स्टेट है। पाकिस्तान की हैसियत ही क्या है? और प्रेसिडेंट ट्रंप हिंदुस्तान और पाकिस्तान के एक मंच पे तुलना करे, यह भी आपत्तिजनक है।
You see, ceasefire has been come into force from 5 o'clock day before yesterday. Everybody appreciated that finally the bloodshed has been put an end to, and everybody wants peace. Nobody wants war. We wanted to deal with terrorism with an iron hand. In that, the entire political spectrum of our country were united. In all-party meeting, it was stated. Then Government of India stated, Raksha Mandri stated in the all-party meeting, the purpose with which measured, focused, and non-escalating strike, which was named as Operation Sindoor, that has been successful, achieved its full purpose. So in the all-party meeting, CPIM demanded that now it is time for negotiation and non-military means to be used to achieve our goals, like getting the terrorists handed over, who are suspected to be taking shelter in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and other places. So after the operation of the ceasefire, or after the commencement of the ceasefire, there are reports of violation of ceasefire from the Pakistan side. So that has to be handled with maturity and care. Ceasefire violation from the other side can be handled in a proportionate manner, but that should not be used for escalation of the peace that has been temporarily achieved. This is our attitude.
And operation result evident toward Air Marshal Bharti yesterday said in press conference.
This statement, if important terrorist sit-outs and hideouts or their camps have been destroyed, that is a partial achievement of the goal. So we should all be appreciating that action of the